Okay, here we are at the Cavern Freehouse in Raynes Park, London. It gives me great pleasure to be here with guitarist KEE MARCELLO.
Yo!
He's playing this venue tonight. This interview is going live tonight. This is like a warm-up date for your UK tour.
Yeah.
You have played this venue before. You played like an intimate show 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So what is it that you like about this venue so much?
I mean, it's just a perfect place to try out your set list and see what's missing and, you know, what should be changed and everything. Because all the people that come here have all really big hearts and they love this kind of music, this style of music. And you can tell it, you know, the first time we played here in 2015, you can see it in people's eyes when we start playing these songs. These guys know their deal, and that's a beautiful feeling. And so we did a couple of tweaks for the next gig, and that's probably what's going to happen this time as well, since we have the tour premiere in Bilston at the Robin 2 tomorrow.
And I believe this is like a new band you're touring with at the moment, is it?
Yes, it is. It's like always Ken Sandin on bass. We're starting looking like an old couple right now. We've been together since 2013, I guess, you know. No, 2003. That's a long time. So it definitely is always Ken on bass. Darby couldn't make it this time, and we have Tim, and Tim plays with Wishbone Ash, you know. And not a lot of people know this, but we've been playing a lot with Darby lately. But Tim Brown was the original drummer. But he couldn't make a tour, the one before the one in 2014, I guess. He couldn't make that UK tour, so he had to find a replacement, and that was Darby. So they're sort of taking turns. It's either Darby Todd or Tim Brown. And we have P.O. Nilsson, who's a very accomplished keyboard player, a Swedish guy. I played hundreds of shows with him. And he normally plays with Glenn Hughes and Jolin Turner and people like that. Really great band. So it's a lot of fun being the only guitar player, since all of a sudden I hear my voice so much clearer and you know, you got more airy and all that. I like it.
And obviously playing an intimate venue like this is different to your normal standard venues, because the stage is very tiny, so you're right in the crowd's faces, you know.
Yeah, it is literally like playing in somebody's living room, which is also great, because if you want a fair judgment from somebody about the music you're playing, you should perform it in their living room, you know, and, which is pretty much what we're doing. All the people that come here, all the people that are going to come here tonight are regulars, and they know what they're talking about, and we have the same history. It feels like performing your show in front of old friends.
Excellent. And I know this tour, obviously your last album came out 2 years ago, Scaling Up on Frontiers label.
Yeah.
Obviously this year marks the 30th anniversary of Europe out of this world album.
Yes.
The first album that you played on for them. And you'll be playing songs tonight, but let's talk about when you first joined Europe, because you first off was in the band Easy Action.
Yes.
Sort of little known out of Sweden, but you were the first Swedish band to get signed by a major label in the US.
Yeah.
So what did that mean to you at the time?
Well, I mean, locally in Sweden it was huge, because if you remember back then, the norm was that only British and American bands could play hard rock. The only exception being the Scorpions from Germany, you know. And so Swedish hard rock bands never made it outside Sweden, or not even outside, you know, not even outside Scandinavia. It was very, you know, isolated that way, you know. We had really big Swedish bands that did nothing in Norway, Denmark or Finland, and vice versa. But we found a manager that somehow managed us correctly. His name was Sandy Tandon, and he suggested that we change names, artist names, you know. My birth name, for instance, I changed legally now since many years, but my birth name is spelled K-J-E-L-L. How would you pronounce that?
Yeah, especially with an English tongue.
Yeah, it's Shell, you know, and so the spelling and the names were impossible. So we all had a name change, artist names and all that for the first Easy Action album. And then we got picked up by Seymour Stein, the legendary Warner guy, who's still, he's like 2,000 years old, but he's still on the board, you know. And I don't know if he ever knew that we weren't British, because I don't think our manager stressed the fact. it's better if you just think we're not Swedish. You know? But we got that a really big deal, and that was a big news.
Well, so you had moderate success. Then you get the phone call from Joey Tempest, the guy you had worked with before actually.
Yeah.
But you get asked to join Europe on the final Countdown tour. John Nolan had done the album.
Yes.
Left virtually straight away. So did that surprise you to get a call from Joey saying, hey, we want you to come and join Europe?
Yeah. Yes and no. The thing is, we had a thing going there because I had this project called Swedish Metal Aid. Me and this journalist did this charity thing for starving people of Ethiopia. Together with Herb Geldof, actually, we were using his contacts with Band Aid and the Red Cross and all that. And we collected all the Swedish rockers into one big old room. You know, we recorded this record, and I produced it, and Tempest wrote the song. And we really clicked working on that. That was in late 1985. You know, so it was only like a half a year later. That I get a phone call, and it wasn't really a shock because it was something that worked really well there, you know. But I had no idea, nor I would get the sack.
But of course, when you joined, the album had just come out.
Yeah.
Europe was still like an unknown band really out of Sweden. The final Countdown was slowly making its way up the charts.
Yeah.
You were part of the whole package where it just went mega.
Exactly.
You know, on a completely different level. You know, let's face it, Final Countdown is the biggest rock song for the last 3 decades. You know?
It is. Yeah. It was just crazy, and it exploded. You know, when I joined the band in October in 1986, and it was after that it started to explode because originally we're doing clubs and theaters. But after rehearsals were done, we were doing the biggest arenas all over the place because of that song. It became #1 in 26 countries, and the demand for tickets was ridiculous.
How did you cope with like the fame?
It all went so fast. I think you could ask anybody in the band from that time. We didn't really get it because we went from just being a rock band until being a rock band, you know. I think the first time we noticed was we came to, we just landed in Tokyo, and some Sony guys from Sony in Tokyo met up with us and said, we have a big problem. Oh yeah, what is the problem? Many people, too many people. Okay, how many people are we talking about? He was talking about outside the airport. About 6,000. Wow, that's so cool! We don't have that many people coming to our concerts. That's great! Let's go! And it turns out, 6,000 people on the concert is manageable with security and all that. But 6,000 people waiting outside an airport, that's lethal. It's dangerous. And we were like running towards the cars, and we had like 6 security guys, and they just disappeared in the mayhem, They were never seen again. And as I ran into one of the cars, I was sitting there with Anders Tegner, a Swedish journalist. And the only thing that I could think of when we finally got into the car and locked the door were people on top of the car, under the car, on the sides of the car. It was Beatles documentary because that was the only thing that had relevance in comparing to, in comparison. It was just crazy, and that happened overnight. And since then, it was just crazy for years and years.
And I think there's a famous quote, you played Hammers of Odeon on the Final Countdown tour.
Yeah.
There's a journalist, Jeff Barton, who said that Europe were louder than Motorhead.
Yeah. No, it was actually at the Milton Keynes. And that's actually a funny story, if you don't mind, because I went down to this club, because I lived in London in 1988.
Oh, yeah.
I went down to the St. Moritz.
St. Moritz Club is still there.
It's still there?
Yeah, same owner, still going.
The guy went, downstairs.
Yeah.
And I would always bump into Lemmy. He was sitting there drinking his whiskey and coke and reading
the paper machine,
And I talked to him. He was a funny guy. He was a great, intelligent, awesome guy. Lots of heart. And we were talking, and I was like, it was my first album with Europe, and I was going, man, this new band is gonna be so hard, it's gonna be melodic, but still hard. It's gonna be really, it's rocking, man. And he goes, yeah, but Key, it's pop. Of course he said this to fuck with me, you know. It's pop. No, it ain't pop. I said, yes it is. Don't get me wrong, I love ABBA, and I was boiling, you know. I didn't want to be compared to ABBA at all, you know. And we had this discussion every time we met. When I came down to the Summer Rates, he mentioned, he called me pop star and all kinds of stuff, you know, just to mess with me, you know. And then we did that gig at the Milton Keynes with Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi, yep, Skid Row and Vixen.
Yeah, exactly. Good memory. And we had some of the heavier songs from Christmas in Paradise. Actually, the Love Baron Boy songs in the album. And we rocked, man. We killed it that night or that day. And so this guy wrote it. So I brought the newspaper. Somebody gave it to me, and I went straight down to the same Ritz and put it in front of Lenny. And he said, yes, I know.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I must say, you know, the first time I saw you at live was on the Out of This World tour.
Yeah.
House of Odeon. Yeah, you rocked my socks that night, definitely. And talking about Out of This World, because that was your first album with you that you recorded on. You started a tour in Mumbai, India. One of the first rock bands to play India. So what was that experience like?
Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, none of us had any experience of Southeast Asia. I mean, except Japan. But nobody played in those places. You know, it was absolutely crazy. On the same tour, we started off in Mumbai, and we had like, and this was nuts because it all went so fast. And now we're playing in front of 60,000 people or something. I think it was a big old cricket arena, like you know, the rest from the old colony days. And it was packed, and Nazareth was supporting us.
Oh, yeah.
And I was a huge Nazareth.
Yeah.
You know, I used to play their records every time I got the chance in school, and just skip classes just to listen to Nazareth. And now they're supporting us. It was like the upside down world. And now you're having a tour premiere. I always picture a life as the rock star since I was a kid, you know. But I imagine like Madison Square Garden or maybe at a big festival, you know, but never in Mumbai, India, at a cricket arena with Nazareth supporting.
Excellent. And also the album was very well received. You did one more album with Europe, 91, Prisoners of Paradise. Then it's all split up. It was the grunge years, and when you first recorded that album, there were songs that were left on or left off. So was it a happy occasion for you?
No, I mean I was furious because I mean the way the winds were blowing right then with Guns N' Roses and all those, it was quite obvious that people wanted something heavy, and we had it in us. And I had the riffs. And I came to LA packed with riffs, you know, and I was just going back to my 70s heritage, I guess, with Deep Purple and all that. And we just started jamming in the studio, and everything came out so great, and I was loving it. And then one day, in the studio with Bo Hill, four guys, 3 gents and a woman, came to the studio. We're from the 4 major branches of Epic in America. And they locked themselves up in the studio and listened to the whole album back to back. Then they came out, took off almost without saying goodbye. And that was that. And about 2 days later, we had a phone call, and they said, this song, this song, this song, this song, and this song has to go. We need more balance. You know, record company people, they only care about 1, money, and 2, stats. And the biggest song we had at that point in America was Carry, the balance. So they wanted more balance. And I remember Herbie Herbert were managing us, and I called Herbie. Great guy. He mentioned Journey as well, you know. And I called him and I said, you know, Herbie, is it okay if I just call them and tell them to go fuck themselves? Because I think they don't know what the hell they're doing, you know. Can I do that? He said, no, you can't. We're booking a world tour for you right now. If you don't have a new album out, and time is of essence, if you don't have a new album out, we're gonna lose 6-7 figures. This is gonna be a catastrophe. You have to let this one pass. And I was furious, but we had to do it. You know, nevertheless, we did a few compromises, and I'm really proud of the album as it is, but there's so much other stuff that never made the album. Rainbow Warrior, and Wild Child, which I am really important for.
Yeah, you resurrected it for the last album, yeah.
Yeah, for Scaling Up, yeah.
So why did it take so long to resurrect those songs?
Well, the thing was, it was a big confusion. It was a big confusion regarding who owned them. You know, first of all, Sony didn't want them, and we wrote them obviously, and I don't think anybody thought about the idea of recording them until I picked them up. You know? So it's a great idea. All those songs, they could have been written yesterday.
Yeah.
That's what Scaling Up is all about, getting back to your instinctive way of writing English.
Also, the band did go on a hiatus in '92. You went on like a solo career with various different named projects here, there and everywhere. But you did reform in 2003, and originally they wanted you to join the band along with John Norum as a six-piece.
Yeah.
And you declined.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, I think two guitars, keyboards, and drums and bass. That sounds more like Kansas or something to me. Europe was never a two-guitar band to start with. Easy Action was, and I played in a lot of two-guitar bands, but it was always a one-guitar band, so that wouldn't have worked.
Was that because you felt like you might be playing second fiddle to John Norum, and that's why it didn't really appeal to you?
I don't think. I mean, we did one gig together. That's the only one we did. That's the one on New Year's Eve in 1992 to 93.
Yeah.
No, 99 to 2000.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Millennium. Yeah.
The Millennium Night, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, we never had a problem. He was really generous, and you know, we just decided who's going to play what, and that was that. You know, but I don't think it would have made justice to the band. Also, they have good guitar players besides Norum in that band. Joey plays decent guitar, and Levin is a great guitar player. It's almost too many guitar players in the band at this point. Yeah, and also there was the disagreement regarding the music, of course. I think I've always been a producer and all that. I produced a lot of records and wrote a lot of songs for other performers, like Percy Sledge, even a different style, the Soul Legend. I wrote the title track of this. Unfortunately, it turned out to be his last album. He passed away a couple of years ago. And Shine Through the Rain. I wrote a lot of hits for bands in different musical styles. And maybe I think a bit more from the other side, how the audience take it, you know, like melodies. I know that people love the melodic side, but I think that's all gone. I think the magic is lost. And that's what I was afraid of when we started discussing this, because they had Tempest had a completely different idea of how to do this. I wanted to see us, this was early 2000, I wanted Europe to be like a celebration of the past, you know, bring back the melodies, you know. Because then for several years we had those awful grunge bands that nobody liked except themselves. I don't know who liked them. You know? It took about 1.5 years and then nobody wanted to be called grunge anymore. Remember that?
No.
Stone Temple Pilots. Oh no, we're not grunge. We never were really.
Also, you have been doing a solo career for many years now. But if you did get a phone call from literally anybody, any rock band, would you join a major band? Give the opportunity?
It's different. It depends on what it is, you know. I got a similar question the other day, and somebody asked me if Tempest called you again and asked you to join the band again, would you say yes? And I said, no, not if I'm supposed to play the shite they're doing right now, but maybe if we do something else. But it's a great question. I haven't thought that much about it. I think I have to get the questions. Have you heard anything?
No. Well, he's out there now, so he's waiting a phone call. This man is for hire.
Yeah.
So
I think I'm too difficult to have.
What's next for you?
Next is we're doing some gigs in Spain. And then I'm doing, amongst other things, a show called Rock the Night, which is it's actually a spin-off of Rock of Ages, which I was in the Broadway musical that came to Stockholm, and they wrote my own part for it, which is weird. You know?
Yeah, because I believe you played yourself in that, so
yeah.
What's it like acting yourself?
It's much harder than you would think, because you can't just go out there and be yourself, because that wouldn't be real for some reason for people to say.
You can't be grumpy.
People would say that's a C, and then they would leave. No, but the thing is, you still have to act, but as if an actor were you. So it was, I got a lot of help before I got it right, you know. But it all started with the producer inviting me to London to see the West End show of Ages, which was great, hilarious, loads of fun. But on the airport on the way home the day after, I told them, this is not for me. Because the band was in the back, in the dark, I couldn't make them out at all on the stage. I'm more of a front type of guy, I want to be seen, you know. And no, don't worry about that. I spoke to the guys in the production, and we want to write a part for you, a brand new part. Really? Who are you going to play? Well, you're going to play yourself. And I was like, is this even legal? It's a Broadway play. I mean, can you do that? And I spoke to the Broadway people, and they were fine with it. And it turns out that was an ingenious move, because all of a sudden, because Rock of Ages, the movie was not big in Sweden at all. I mean, most people missed it. But then they brought this Broadway show over here, and they had one name to put on the poster that everybody that hard rock knew it was. So I think it was a lot of KEE MARCELLO and Euro fans coming to the show, and they were really surprised by how fun it was and how good it was, and spread the word. We did four seasons of that, which is really unusual in Sweden.
And I know in Sweden, obviously, you're on TV quite a bit, various kind of programs, same sort of programs we get here in the UK.
Yeah.
But like, are you instantly recognisable in Sweden? You're walking down the street and just people know you outside of Europe?
Yeah.
Is that a lifestyle you're comfortable with, being recognised everywhere you go?
It's all right. I mean, at least as long as they are sober. I mean, when people get drunk, and I'm sure you guys know how people are in Sweden, a lot of people get shit-faced Friday and Saturday nights, you know. So I played in the north of Sweden on Saturday, you know, and an old school friend of mine. I mean, we've been friends since we were 8. Anders, he asked me, come out to the bar and buy a drink. And I tried to explain to him, that's not going to be possible. You know, it's not going to work. Come on, and he didn't understand. So I went out and stood at the bar with him. And after about 4 nanoseconds, there were like 20 guys who wanted to tell them how much the superstitious solo meant just then, which is cute, but you can never talk to anybody else, you know? And then there are some of the girls that want to come up and sort of, you know, guys, we have a tradition of trying to come up with pickup lines, however clumsy they are, or at least try to make pickup lines. But these drunk girls came like, hey, you look like Alice Cooper. Oh, really? And I don't know what to say. You know? Just say, you look like Bigfoot if it was female. I don't know what to say, you know?
So it must make quite a nice change for you then when you come to the UK. Well, you are known by the rock fans, but you came up down the street here. And...
I'm nobody when I walk down the street, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
In any big city, really, I think a lot of people feel the same thing. I think I heard Robert De Niro walking down the streets of Manhattan, and people don't bother unless they're tourists.
Yeah, of course. Well, okay, it's been fantastic talking to you. The tour, I was like, you started tonight here in the Cavern Freehouse in Raynes Park. Nice, intimate, secret gig. And tomorrow the tour starts proper. You're in Bilston, Camden Underworld on Friday, Merthyr Tydfil in Wales on Saturday, Stoke-on-Trent, Manchester, Glasgow and Nuneaton. So enjoy the tour and buy the album scaling up.
It's going to be so much fun. Been looking forward to this for a long time.
Excellent. All the best, Keith. Thank you very much. Cheers.